So I saw a quote today that says, most people are searching to be the exception rather than to be exceptional. And that had me reflecting on a company like IBM, who I just had a lunch meeting with. They have been so enduring in the marketplace. Their influence is top of the line. When you say I'm bringing in IBM to a client, you're like, okay, we will entertain IBM. It's never no. So my small business is a partner with IBM. And essentially, we go in with them to see our clients to bring them solutions to the government. The government is our client, federal, state, local. But this idea of being exceptional instead of searching or aching to be an exception or an exemption makes me think of IBM. Too many times, we want exceptional results in our personal development, in our growth, in our finance, in our parenting, in our relationships, in our marriage, in our relationship with God, but still we are chasing being the exception. What do I mean by that? So we want to not have to do as much, not have to go the extra mile, not have to make the sacrifices, not having to press as much. I mean, we'll press for a little while, but then, don't go overboard. We don't say it out loud, of course, but that's what we do. But I really love this scripture from Paul in the Bible. He says, this one thing I do, I forget what's behind and I press forward. And I think about a man like Paul. He was already established. He was already influential. He was already learned, very educated, very known, full of authority. I mean, he was murdering Christians legally. But once he encountered Jesus, his attitude was, I can't ever exhaust enough of the knowledge of the presence of the dimensions of God. So I'm willing to forget all my successes, all my failures, all my exploits, and do the one thing. His mindset was the one thing. And what was the one thing? To press. Because, a lot of times, honestly, I don't want to press. We don't want to press. We want to be the exception instead of being exceptional. But Paul is such a great example of a mindset that is cultivated and nurtured to continue to grow, regardless of the exploits, the victories, the successes of yesterday. He was bent on what else? What more, God, can I know about you? What more? And I suspect that's how we need to be in every area of our lives. In my company, Abraham's Consulting, I am pressing to sell more to the government, to have more influence as a small business, and one day become a big business, to employ more women of color to sit at the table of technology. Pressing to know God in more dimensions than I've already met him. I mean, it's such an exciting, adventurous journey. There's no room for stop-down in my mind. Why? Because I'm taking some tips from Paul's attitude. This one thing I do, I press on to grab a hold. And I think that's what all our attitudes needs to be when it comes to our altitude, our growth, our effectiveness, or impact. Don't seek to be the exception. Seek to be exceptional. On the Eve Speaks platform, we're encouraging you on September 30th to come join us in the Symphony of Personalities, where we'll be talking about how your personality, once you know yourself well enough, you'll be able to play it to your advantage, to work with other personalities to reach your goals, to secure outcomes that are favorable to you. But first, you got to decide to press into knowing you to grow you. I hope you decide that. Do it today and register. Click the link. We're waiting to see your registration comes through, and decide to be exceptional, not the exception. You deserve to heal, aspire, and grow. We're your biggest cheerleaders. Go ahead, click the link. Talk to you soon.